What's up, world? This your guy Track Addict with my co-host
J Body.
Yo, together we make the Mind Your Business show. We give you the game, we give you the entrepreneurship, man. Today, man, we got a real special, man, guy, man, dope dude, man, Tito Porter.
Oh, yeah.
Multiple business owner. You know what I'm saying? He gonna give us a game, tell us his story, man. Maybe drop some gems for y'all, man. Tune in, man, right now. Let's get it.
Let's go. Welcome to the Mind Your Business show, where we strive to give business owners the blueprint of motivation, success, and dedication.
Let's start in the beginning. Give us something from, like, man, something you held throughout your life that you might have, you know, you changed throughout your life, but something from the beginning that just you held on to. Maybe something from a grandma, mom, dad, something.
I'll say my aunt raised me.
Okay.
Well, I lived with my mom, and then you know, when I was in elementary school, you know, she had a little trouble taking care of us, me and my sister. My two brothers was in jail at the time. I had older brothers, so we were in a situation where we were gonna go to the state, or somebody in the family had to adopt us. So my aunt adopted us, and she really couldn't afford to take care of us. So that meant that we had to take less. But we were so unfortunate with our mom, because she couldn't afford a lot of things, that even when we had to take less, it was like the world to us, because we was like, dang, this is an upgrade to what we had, you know. So we had to wear clothes. She had to go to the thrift store or the Salvation Army to get us clothes, because she's taking in kids that she really couldn't afford to take care of anyway, and her kids were grown. So you know, she took us in, and she did the best that she could, and then she was a hustler as well. So once she learned the credit game, then, you know, she was able to get credit cards, and then she was able to buy us some fly gear, and then, you know, my life changed, and I started looking a little better, feeling a little better. But
so you seem to struggle and to come up at the same time.
So but, you know, she had a lot of people that she had to take care of. So even when she figured out the credit, and, you know, she got this credit card, she got this credit card, she got this credit card, she still had me, my sister, she had grandkids, she had two sons, she had a husband, she had a house. So, you know, we couldn't get everything, but we got everything that we needed. And I was the type of person that I was so observant, and I was like, you know what, it wouldn't make sense for me to ask for this or that. So from the beginning, I had a I'm gonna go and get it myself attitude. I didn't ask her to buy this or buy that. I tried to do it myself. You know, or I would save money, or not ask for money. I never asked for money. When my auntie was raising me, I never asked her for money. I never asked her for $1, because she was doing enough. She was doing enough, and I was like, if I want more, I need to create more. So I had that mentality from a kid.
That mentality, you know, being, you know, in the hood, not having, and having to go through that, and having that mentality, you know, do you think, did that come from somewhere, or was that just something that was in you, just you? That was Tito Porter, or was there anything in you that made that like that?
I was so thankful. I was used to not having nothing, so when she was doing something, she probably felt like it wasn't enough.
It wasn't enough, but to you, it was more than you ever had.
It was everything to me. So
that's major.
I just always made the most out of whatever she could give. Whatever she could give, that was exactly what I needed. And I never said, hey, auntie, I need the extra $10. I need this. I need that. You know, so of course they made me do things that I probably wasn't supposed to be doing. But even when I was doing crime and I was in the streets, I never got sent home from school. I never disrespected adults. I never disrespected her. So she never knew. Like, she didn't know that I was into the streets until I was on the news. She didn't know I was in the streets until I was on the news. And then she was like, oh no, they framing him.
Not my baby.
They framing him. He didn't do that. And then I was like, yeah, auntie, I did it.
Yeah.
You know, but I didn't call. You know, most people go to jail and they on the phone crying and stuff. And she was telling everybody, she was like, I don't know what's wrong with Tito. He ain't called. It's his first time in jail, and he just ain't called home. We worried about him. And I'm like, don't worry about me. I'm good. You know, you did everything you could do. You didn't mess up. You know, I'm just dealing with what I did. This is my mess. So you don't have to worry about accepting collect calls from me. You ain't got to worry about me asking you to send me some money or put money on the phone. I'm good. I'm going to live. I'm a survivor. Okay. That's my mentality. Like, I'm gonna survive, and I'm the type of person I feel like, if not me, then who? You know, I feel like I was the toughest one. I feel like if somebody got to go do 10 years, I could do it.
Yeah.
Don't even worry about it. Y'all can't handle that. I could do it. Even though I had never been through it, but that's just the mentality that I had.
Right.
Like, it's on me. I never blame other people. I always accept responsibility, and I always create solutions instead of complaining about the problem. That way, I'm always going forward, no matter what happens.
I feel that because I always told myself, I was like, you know, I might not know how to do it, but I was like, if anybody in this world can do something, I can do it too. Because all I need is the training and the knowledge, you know, to be able to do it. And end of the day, you know what I mean? Like, if you got the training and knowledge, you can do it. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what you do. I can do anything.
Or the hunger for the
right?
knowledge.
And you see me now, I do everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's because I just had like, man, all right, I can do that too.
So
What
did
about
you
yourself?
did you also have like other things like you did? Cause I know you said you got locked up. Did you already have like little like selling candy, or did you already have just some mad hustle about yourself that you used to do before?
Man, look, you know how I said I was always respectful. I never disrespected authority. I never got suspended from school except for uniform. When they started uniforms, you know, I wanted to be cool. You know, But other than that, I was such a model student. I sold weed out of the office. I was the office assistant.
Wow.
I was the office assistant.
Wow.
So, you know, I was in the office and everybody was like, oh, Tito, he's such a good guy, which I was a good guy. But, you know, I needed money. And then I had to go to school.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was just one of them things where, you know, hey, like Tyreek.
Yeah.
Like Tyreek, it was like that. Like Tyreek St. Patrick on Power. It was that type of thing. Like, I'm sitting there in the office.
Man, when you said that, I pictured Franklin from Snowfall. I don't know why. Because he didn't look like the character, right?
Yeah.
That's what I pictured.
Yeah, so this is how I always been like this. Like, I always been like, even now, if I'm on the grind, I don't even eat. Like I got trucks. If somebody cancels and they can't work for the day, I would drive. I don't eat. I feel like I ain't did nothing I don't deserve to eat until I finish what needs to be done. When I was young and I was in school and I was selling weed, what I used to do was take no money to school. Take your product.
Yeah.
If you don't get this product gone, you don't deserve to eat. So I went to school broke every day. All the thing I took was my dope and swung out the office.
Would you say that's a level of discipline that you did for yourself? Like, would you say that's disciplining yourself to make yourself hungry enough to say, okay, I eat after I get the reward, or I get the bag and then I eat.
Cause
you know what I'm saying? I don't want to eat now and get sleepy and can't go get the bag, right?
How do you train your dog? Snacks.
Yeah.
Eating.
Yeah.
Like they said, like the best feelings in the world is sex, food, and drugs.
Yeah.
All of them stimulate the same part of your mind. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you ain't ate all day and you get that first bite to eat, it's the best thing in the world. If you get that taste of flesh, you know, it's the best feeling in the world. If you get drugs, it's the best feeling in the world, and it outweighs everything else. That's why drug addicts lose weight, because they don't have an urge for the food no more when they can get that same feeling from this substance. So they don't eat, they lose weight, and you know that's the mentality I have. Like, hey, I'm used to not having nothing, so let me grind it out and play broke. Just keep playing broke. If you playing broke, you can't go broke. Because you ain't gonna go below this threshold. Yeah. So I went out every day like that. And but when I went to prison though, it taught me that I didn't have to break the law to have money. Okay. Because when I was in jail, I didn't have a means to make money. I learned how to cut hair in jail. Because like I said, I didn't like to call people and ask for nothing. So they had clippers inside the dorm. So I was like, man, they got clippers in here. People need hair because it's not a barber. So I started practicing. So all the junkies that came in, I say, come on, let me cut your hair. It's free haircuts. So I practiced, and then that was my income.
Practice on the junkie, charge.
Practice on the junkie. And then the folks that's trying to look good for reputation.
Yeah.
Like, come on, I got you, man. I can do the fade. Man. I can do the mohawk. I can do that.
That's hard but fair.
And so you know, I looked at all the haircuts. I would look at TV and I would look at it and I said, it looked like they did this. It looked like they did that. So every new haircut that I saw on TV, I practiced on somebody. And that's how I learned how to cut hair. And that's how I said, when I was sitting in prison, I was like, damn, I broke all those laws trying to make money. Yeah. But I could have been doing something like this. And one thing that a lot of people don't like to acknowledge is the fact that when you go to jail, you will clean up, you will sweep. The biggest ballers, they'll sweep, they'll clean up, they'll mop, just for a little extra freedom or just to get an extra tray.
That's
so
right.
I was like, damn, if I do this, I'm gonna tell you how much I was cutting her for. I was cutting her for 2 packs of noodles.
Okay.
Noodles 70 cents, and that's the inflated price in prison. You know, they quarter 20 cents, something like that on the streets. So I was basically cutting her for $1.
Yeah.
So you know, and I was making it count. I was stacking it up. So when I get out, I'll take it back to prison. I learned when I was in prison that what I thought I needed, I didn't really need. When I was out, I feel like all I needed was some money. I wanted some money. But when I was in jail, I didn't pray for money at all.
Yeah.
Never. I prayed for freedom.
Freedom.
So I said, you know what? If $1 million wouldn't make me feel better in prison right now, that means when I get out, I'm rich. I got everything I ever wanted.
Yeah.
So I had freedom. So when I got out, I didn't really chase money.
What was the biggest thing you missed in prison?
Having a woman.
Having
Now, if they would have women in there, I would add me up. Give me another charge. I'm good. But you ain't got no woman. But it was times where prison was sweet. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you know how to deal with whatever situation wherever I'm at, I make the best out of it. So it was good. It was cool. You know, I was one of the guys, like everything that's on the streets is in prison too. They got Percocets, they got lower tabs, they got cigarettes, they got weed, everything you want, it's in there. And that's the place where you got the most to gain from using it. You know, like I can't even knock a person for becoming a junkie in jail. Yeah. Because you got the most stress you can have, you stuck, and you just look for a way to pass time. Yeah. But me on the other hand, I played cards every now and then. But when I first got there. But after a while, I didn't play cards. I didn't play dominoes. I didn't play basketball. I didn't eat but one time a day. I got so tired of prison food, I was like, man, I'm just gonna eat enough to live. And I wanted to feel all the pain because people leave and come back. So I wanted to feel all the pain.
Why you didn't do any of those things you said, like basketball, none of that?
This shit was not a picnic. This is not a resort.
You didn't want to enjoy it.
Yeah, it's not a resort. Okay. So you don't need to have all this fun. It's not a retirement home.
You wouldn't like it.
It wasn't a retirement home. Like, this is not it. You can't, you make the best out of it. So what I did every day, I wrote a rap to my emotions, however I felt. If I felt good that day, I wrote a good rap. I felt bad that day, I wrote a sad rap. If I was thinking about freedom when I got out, I wrote a rap like that. And that's how I got into battle rap in jail. Dutch hit me up and got me into some battles. But I had never actually done a real battle where you prepare for it. It was freestyle battles.
So you started rapping in jail as well?
No, I was rapping before I went to jail. I just didn't take that serious. When I went to jail, I met people from New York, met people from Cali. It was all types of styles. So every person that I met that had an element of the rap that I didn't have, I was like, damn, I need to practice that type of rap. I need to learn how to rap about this subject or that subject. So my day-to-day was thinking about how I could be the best rapper in here. And it got to the point where the officers used to come get me. Somebody new come in, hey Tito, we got a dude from New York. He say he the hardest. We want y'all to battle. So that's what we used to do in jail. And people bet chips, like people bet soap, bet chips, and they said, I got 5 bags of chips on Tito. Tito gonna kill him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we battling. And it got to the point where
is it that old footage? I want to see some of that.
Y'all
said they done lost Tito footage, man.
They would bring they started bringing me instrumental CDs. Me and my cousin Snooty Wild. We was in there together. Like we was charge partners. I took some charges for him. I could never say this because now he ain't here, so it ain't incriminating. But it's charges that I had that was both of our charges, and I said no. They was asking who is this. We said they was like, we got the witness statement identifying you. Who is this other person? They said one person about 5'8", 5'9", light skin, and they got another person that's over 6 feet that's light skin. Who is this person? And I was like, man, I don't know. That's just a nigga from around the way, but I never. So
you took the charge, basically.
Yeah, I never.
You did the crime too, my guy. You wasn't with that bullshit. What they on right now?
They was like, so who is this? And I was like, man, I really don't know him like that. And I was like, y'all can't make me tell who this is. You know, like I'm
Right.
here, I'm accepting my charges, let's move on with it. So,
Right.
you know, I got all that, so I ended up getting 10 years. I had charges that we had together that
Oh, they stuck it to you because you
yeah,
didn't
'cause
want to cooperate.
they went by the MO. Because
Yeah.
they said this robber was that way, this one was that way, this one was that way. We know this person is you. Who is this?
Right.
You know, so that's what they was trying to do, but I never did it. And so I ended up getting 10 years. You know, most times your first robbery charge you get 7 years. So by me
That's a
not
long
giving
time.
them what they wanted, you know, I ended up getting 10 years. But you know,
I tell people
was
all the
already
time, you get less time for murder almost.
I see you cut hair. You was already doing your thing. What else you did to build your skills on that helped you when you got out? You know what I'm saying? Besides, you know, cutting hair. I know you was rapping.
like I said, it was making sure that I appreciated freedom. Making sure that was the top thing. Like I had to really sit back and realize, I had to ask myself, what is life about? And life wasn't about money. It was about freedom of your movements, health, family, memories. You don't need money for none of that. You don't even need money. Like people say, you need money because you need food and shelter. Food is free. The people that put it in the store and package it for you, they sell it to you. But
Right.
that's free.
Oh, yeah.
You know, fish in the water, free.
Yeah.
A deer on the land is free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's two over their head.
The wide open land,
They ain't thought that
it's
far.
free. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the person that gets it and packages it that makes the money.
Yeah.
So I realized I didn't need money, but I also realized that providing the service was the money. So that's what, when I got out,
How many years you been out?
I've been out 11 years.
11 years.
Been out 11 years. So yeah, another thing that people don't know, most people in jail, they exercise religiously. You know, that's really one of the main things you got to do. So, you know, I used to do yard call, and you know, I would jog. So when I got out, my cousin was trying out for a track team at the university. It's used to be Crichton University. He was trying out for the track team, so he was like, "Hey, cuz, just go up here with me." And this when I was on parole. He was like, "Man, just go up here with me and check it out." So we get up there to the track thing. You know, I look young. I always look younger than I was. So the coach was like, "Hey, you trying out too?" Then I was like, "Man, nah, that ain't me. I ain't doing all that running and all that bullshit." And he was like, "Oh, you must not be able to. You think you're not gonna make it?" I said, "No, I'm probably the fastest one out here."
Right.
And then the coach, he thought I was just talking shit. So he said, "Okay, I want you to run a mile." So I ran my mile. And then after we ran the mile, he said, "I want you to do a 30-yard dash." And I think I probably had the second fastest time, third fastest time, or something like that. But keep in mind, I'm older than everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody else is just coming out of high school. I'm coming from prison.
And you ain't conditioned yourself for this.
None of that. You know what I'm saying? When I got done running, you know what the coach said?
Man, hey, well, I need you here tomorrow.
He said, "So you don't run?" I said, "No." Then he said, "If I give you a full scholarship, will you run?" I said, "Hell yeah, come on, let me sign." You know what I'm saying? But the thing was, when you ran for college, when you got in the NCAA, whatever they call it, NCAA, athletic, something like that, they don't check your background
Okay.
unless you try to stay on the dorm. If you try to stay on campus housing, then they have to check your background. So what I did was,
I didn't know that. Did y'all
Yeah.
get that? That's some game for
they
you.
They don't check that. So when you try to get around everybody else, then they're gonna check your background to make sure that you can get on campus. I mean, stay on campus. So I never applied for campus housing, and it was one of them situations where I was on parole. When you're on parole, you're not supposed to leave the state. But I was looking at it like, man, parole in jail is really supposed to be for, you know, bettering yourself. So I was like, man, I don't think they're gonna violate my parole for me running out of town on a scholarship for college.
Right.
So, but I didn't want the parole officer to tell me no, so I never asked. So every weekend, I'm violating parole.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm going out of town every weekend with the team because there's a scholarship.
Yeah.
And keep in mind at this time, you know, I didn't have a job because, you know, the felony, it was harder to get jobs.
Right.
So that's another thing they should tune into. If you got a GED or a diploma, and you're gonna go to a job that's gonna pay you minimum wage or close to it, you can get the same amount of money for going to school 3 hours a day, or 3 days a week, 3 hours a day. The school will probably pay you $5,000 to $8,000 a semester, which is semesters like what you want to say, maybe 4 months. So that's like $2,000 a month, income just to go to class and make the grade. So that's one of the things I did. That was my supplemental income. That's how I paid my bills. Keep in mind, I told you.
Now, sorry to cut you off, but is that part of the scholarship? Is that the way? Where
the scholarship is extra.
Okay.
So if you got a scholarship that's paying for your whole school, that means you get the loan and you get the Pell Grant each semester. So they give you $5,600 or $5,600, and it's some number like that.
Yeah.
Plus the Pell Grant might be $2,800, something like that. I know somebody gonna be like, hell no, it's this, that, whatever amount. Yeah, that. Pell Grant $2,000 and something. The other one could be $4,000, $6,000, $8,000, whatever. So you might have $10,000. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
So the full scholarship means all that you don't. I didn't have to get a loan at all.
So you can use that extra money.
I didn't have to get a loan at all because they were paying for my school. So when I got the loan, the subsidized loan, and the Pell Grant, that was all for me. So that's some game too, and I get to how I flip that money too. That's how I got into business. I used school money. And I used my wife had a tax check. I used some of the school money, used some of the tax check. That's how I got into cars.
That was the first business?
It's first business.
Okay.
But the first business was cutting hair.
Cutting hair.
When I got out of jail, my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, she asked me, she said, what you want? You want some shoes? You need some clothes? And I said, man, you know what? I learned how to cut hair when I was in there. And I was real good at it. So if you buy me some clippers, you won't have to give me no money. And you won't have to buy me clothes. I can buy my own. So just give me these clippers. And she was like, so how you gonna get some clients? We were staying in the projects at the time. We were staying in Alta Vista in Fraser. It's on
yeah. Man, you won't believe I stayed there when I was
Yeah, we were staying in Alta Vista.
That's crazy.
So she was like, how you gonna get clients? I said, man, all I gotta do is cut hair. We in the hood. All I gotta do is go on the porch and cut hair. Once I chop somebody up real nice, everybody gonna see it and they gonna say, hey bro, how much you charge? You cut hair? So that's what I did. I called out, cause me and some of my guys, we got out of jail around about the same time. So I called them, hey bro, come over here so I can cut your hair. I need to cut your hair outside so people can see your hair. And young dudes walk up. My mama said you cut her. Yeah, I cut her. Tell your mama $5. I was cutting her for $5. Keep in mind, I didn't know I was supposed to be charging $20, $15. I didn't know. But I just know I was charging $1.40 in jail. So from making $1.40 to making $5, I thought that was good. So all I had to do was maybe cut. It sound like chump change right now, but back then I probably making $200 a week. You know what I'm saying? But if I'm making $200 a week, and she had a job, and if I'm making $200 a week, that's $800 extra into the household. And I end up getting a job too at Debo's. So I worked there Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. And I did the cutting, probably made $200 a week. So I was probably making $400 a week. My wife ended up losing her job. And she was crying. She was like, I don't know how we gonna pay this and da 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 da. And I was like, you crying over bills? Like that's really a problem to you? And she was like, well, we need to pay the bills, we need to do this, we need to do that. And I was like, hey, the worst thing you do to somebody is kill them. The second worst thing you can do is take their freedom. I had the second worst thing a person can have done to them, done to me. Right. And I survived. If you think not being able to pay these bills is gonna make me worry or cry, you crazy. And she was like, how can you be like that? How do you make yourself so strong and just not worry? And I was like, because when I worry, it's not gonna change. It don't matter how many tears I cry, it's not gonna create the money. Right. So why would I put that much energy into it? I should put my energy into something else, to solving the problem, instead of dwelling on the problem. So she was like, so how we gonna pay my car note if it's this? And I said, okay, how much money we make a week? I said, if I do this, that's gonna be this amount, it's gonna be that amount. So each week I need to be putting up $300 or $200. Like I broke it down to the math. And I was like, as long as I put up $150 a week, we'll be okay. Because our rent was only $525. The car note was like $280. So I was able to organize it. And she was like, man, how did you make this so smooth? How did you make it so simple? That's why me and my wife a good team. because the things that she lacked at or that may worry her, I would explain to her why we don't need to worry about it. And she always followed me. Even when I got out and I didn't have shit, I didn't have nothing.
Yeah.
She still allowed me to be the man. And she would say, what do we need to do? And when somebody gives you that power, or they follow you, not to say it's power, but if they give you dominion over your household, if you embrace it, it's no way you're gonna fail. You're gonna be like, you know what, she's counting on me, she has faith in me, so I really need to deliver. So I set out every day like, let me deliver. Even some days, you know, they had the little stuff where you can work for the day and stuff. I would do that sometimes. Everything, you know, just to
whatever you had to do,
just to make it go. Right. And you know, I was happy just to break even. Like I was happy being poor, breaking even, going to my job, do my job to the best of my ability, make the boss proud, make them rich, whatever. I just wanted to be able to pay my bills. I wanted to be able to go home, turn the lights on, eat what I wanted to eat because I couldn't do that in jail. And you know, I just grew from there. So I ended up going to school again. Like after when I ran track, I did that for maybe 2 years. And then I went and got a job because I was feeling like, you know what, I need to try to see if I can get some type of career. So I went to be a maintenance man. And you know, I was like, man, you know, it's cool. I had 401k.
Still going to school?
I stopped going to school.
Okay,
because the job paid more than the school was gonna pay.
Gotcha.
So and they had benefits, they had vacation and all that. You know, the American dream. You know, so I went for that until I worked at the job a year. This is probably the longest I ever had a job, maybe a year and a half. And then I realized that it wasn't for me. I realized that I would never grow to the level that I expected. I realized I would never grow to what I wanted to be in life if I stayed at this job. So I started to hate it. And it was the best job I had had in my life, especially being a convicted felon. And so that's when I said, you know what? This job is paying me enough to pay all my bills, but once I get past that, I really don't have a lot left to create something with. So that's when I went back to school. I was like, you know what, if I was surviving before, strictly off of the school, then if I get this job to pay my bills and then go to school again, now I can invest this money into something else. So I went to school and got my refund check. Of course, I wasn't running track now, so the check was way smaller. But I put that money up, and my wife had her tax check, and she gave me some of that. She let me flip them taxes, you know, like they say. So she gave me that opportunity, and I just invested in the cars. And I only had $6,000. I started with $6,000, and I bought high mileage cars that they ran good, but they just had a lot of miles. So I bought those cars, and I learned how to fix cars so I can, you know, buy the cars that had damages or needed an alternator or a starter. And I can put the stuff on there, save money. I can get them cheaper first. And then I can pass the savings on. I can price my cars cheaper than everybody else because I got them cheaper. I fixed them, so I cut costs. So I passed the savings on. And when I first bought my first few cars, I spent all my money I had. And I was like, man, I don't know what we're going to do, but I'm just going to try it. So within 45 days, I made back all my money plus $10,000. And
off the 6 cars?
Off of 3 cars.
3 cars.
It was 3 cars, but you know, I bought one, flipped the one,
I got you.
Kept profit, I did that. And one valuable lesson I learned, to get to a certain level of success, it's gonna come a point in your life where you gotta give up something that you love. Now, I ain't talking about blood sacrifice or nothing like that. I'm talking about it's gonna be a point where, like, my dream car used to be a 745. When I was working at that job, I ended up getting one.
Okay.
So it was my baby. So when I started selling cars, it was like I would sell every car, but I was like, man, I ain't gonna sell this one. But when I got to the point where the thing that I loved, I could part ways with it in order to go to the next level, that's when I took off. So I had a little amount of money, but you know, they said you need to have a year worth of your income to really be okay. So I had maybe half a year of my income.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked around. I was like, man, how could I get a year? Because I was still working at this job. And I wanted to leave that job. But they said you need to have a year worth of money to leave this job.
Right.
And I looked around. I was like, how can I get a year worth for this? And I looked at that 745, my baby. And I said, you know what? If I want to go to the next level, I got to go and let it go.
Let it go.
I got to let it go. And if I succeed, I'll be able to get something way better.
So you had to make a sacrifice.
Had to make a sacrifice.
Okay.
I had bump in the trunk. It was clean. Had the chrome wheels on. It was nice, but it was just a liability.
Yeah.
It wasn't an asset because Lyft and all that wasn't going on then. You couldn't Uber, so it was just a liability. That's all it was.
Right.
But if I was to liquidate that, now I had more money to invest in cars.
Mm-hmm.
So I did that, and now I had a year's worth of salary. So now I was at the point where, okay, I see I do good at selling cars, and the car money had started to overpower the job money. So once I got a year's worth of money, I left the job. And people was calling me, my folks was like, man, you left that job? My cousin, man, bro, go get your job back, bro. Man, you got a lot going on, man. You got a good job, man. Go get that job. I said, calm down. I said, that job ain't that good. I'm better than that job.
Right.
Watch what I'm going to do. And I never, the last time I was broke, you want to know when it was?
When is that?
When I had the job.
You quit the boss to become the boss.
Last time I was broke, when I had the job. Ever since I left the job, I never went broke again. Now, money got low.
It's the gym right there.
Money got low because when you an entrepreneur, you might have 3 good weeks, and then you might have 5 bad ones.
Right.
You know, so money management is very important. When it's feast season, you got to be like the ants. You know, you gotta put it up because famine is coming. Famine is coming. And when I was really getting into the entrepreneurship, you know, it felt like it would never end. The money, it was just that good. And I was like, man, it's probably never stop. And got my money up, and then it slowed down the cars. And so I done went almost to broke again. Yeah. But I had cars, but it was just slow. You know what I'm saying? So cars is just like
inventory.
Yeah, that's why I still had assets, but it was slow. I was one of the people that wasn't heavy with credit. I didn't have a lot of credit. I had hard cash and I had assets.
Gotcha.
So coming from where I come from, you don't think get your credit right, do this, do that. Like I would have been where I'm at now 5 years ago if I would have knew about credit.
Right.
If I would knew the importance of it. I thought cash was king, so I would buy cars and put them up instead of buying stock. You know, instead of putting money in a bank account, I would get a car. Hey man, they selling for $4,000. That car worth $8,000. So that's how I was making my money. I was like, that's $4,000 right there.
Right.
It might not sell for 6 months, but that's $4,000.
Right.
So that's the way I navigated through it. But coming up in the inner city, you don't have nobody to say, hey, when you do this, get your credit right, do this, do that. You don't have a checklist. You know, you got to figure it out on your own. Like nobody taught me how to go and start a business account. Nobody taught me how to get a business license. Nobody taught me how to register with the state, the LLC, the Tennessee Department of Commerce. Nobody taught me none of that. Yeah. You know, I just learned as I went. Right. And every venture that I attempted, my the thing that kept me going was, what's the worst thing that can happen? I was broke at that job, you know, and I can go back and get a job if I need to. But if I stay down and stay on course with what I plan on doing, there's no way I can fail. Yeah. When I did the cars, I saved my money up. My wife was doing taxes, but she was doing it with somebody else. So they ended up parting ways, and she was like, well, I probably ain't gonna do taxes no more. So who you think I should give my clients to? I said, what? And I was like, how many clients you got? She only had like 20 clients or something like that. And I did all the math, and I was like, hey, if we can find a building that costs XYZ, we can at least pay the bills. I said, we just need to pay the bills. We need to get you a tax office, and we just need to be able to pay the bills. And I was like, if we fail, we'll be broke. We broke after every tax season anyway. Yeah. Let's try it for a purpose. And just put our money into this. So I took all my money that I made from. I told you I saved up all this money from these cars.
Right.
So what I did was I invested all of my money down to $11 into the tax office. There was no plan B.
Bro, I like the fact that you not scared to take risks, bro.
Yeah.
I like that, bro, because it's
Right.
like you started off, you know what I'm saying? How you was like, yeah, I did this, you know what I'm saying? How you even on when you was cleaning up, like with the probation, you're with the parole, like, bro, you are very like once you got it in your mind, you like, man, I'm at it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I don't even care about the consequence, and it's
very ambitious.
Very.
Yeah.
And it's, bro, that's good. I can see why you successful.
You consider yourself a competitive person? Like in your life, like, you know?
I don't even think I'm competitive.
You know?
You seem like just real determined.
Like you seen me battle before, right?
Yeah.
You seen me before a battle and after a battle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never cocky. I'm never boisterous. I'm never braggadocious. None of that.
Right.
Like before the battle, I'm like this. During the battle, I'm like this.
Yeah.
After the battle, I'm like this.
Yeah.
When we were in jail, I used to hate to battle people, but that was how I got my snacks. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't hate. I hated to embarrass people. You know, and people be talking shit like, man, I'm finna kill that young nigga, man, because I was 18, 19. They was like, man, I'm gonna kill that young nigga. Hey, young nigga, you think you ready for me? Man, I might not be ready, bro. I ain't gonna lie. That's how I used to be.
Yeah.
And then when we started rapping, them folks like, God, I did not know you was like that, bro. You didn't give me that vibe that you was like that.
You bumping too, bro. I gotta give you props, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I do all the studio, you bumping, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one thing I say. You do a lot of things and you do everything good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you above, you know, so you excelling in everything you do, man. So I just want to take my hat off on that note, man.
Appreciate
like, what can you not do? Let me ask you that. What is something in life that you was like, man, I cannot do this. Like, I suck at this. Give me one of them joints.
Doing time.
Sucking going to prison. I'm feeling that, man. I'm feeling that.
Yeah, but so you know, I invested all my money down, and I eliminated Plan B's. The Plan B makes you not put your all into Plan A.
Man.
Even in a relationship, you know how people say, your elders might say, keep your options open. But if you got options, all it takes is one straw to break the camel's back to make you say, fuck Plan A, you on Plan B. Because you got a Plan B. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't have a Plan B, you're going to work it out. You're going to work it out. You're going to, you know what, we can do this, we can do this, we can do that. So when we got into the business, I invested my money all the way down to $11. So if it would have failed, we was fucked.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But when you put all the billion cells in your body,
I think you would have flipped that $11. You would have figured a way. He would have figured a way to come up off that $11, dog.
I would have bought a bag or something. and man, you know, gave somebody 0.5.
I'll tell you, look, 3 plus. All right, now I'm at 15.
Yeah,
all right. Come on, man. Hustler, bro. I don't care what you do.
When we invested all our money into it, like I had a studio computer, right? The first that was the computer we did taxes on. The studio computer, the one I used to rap on. Okay. And I was like, hey, we ain't got no computer, so I guess I ain't rapping this season. When we got into the tax office, we didn't have a lot of clients. We had, I guaranteed, enough clients to pay the bills. And I told her, what's gonna get us to the next level is consistency. And she's like, what you mean by that? I was like, man, even though we went to the hood, and I was like, man, you know, in the hood, they used to people coming, taking from them, and leaving. I said, what our thing is gonna be, we gonna stay. They might not come this year, but when they see us next year, they're gonna be like, you know what, let's try the place in the hood, because they still there. So we stayed there year after year. And I'm talking about, we got up to 500 and some clients. And they're in the hood. You know,
I tell all entrepreneurs, your first year is your hardest year. If you gonna make it that first year, you almost gonna make it. Cause that first year, if that first year don't break you, you gonna make it. Yeah.
But yeah, that's how it was. And after a while, the people in the neighborhood started trusting us. They would walk. We got people walking in at that point. And it all came from, you know, consistency. They got to see you. They so used to people coming, taking their money, leaving. Right. So I was doing little events in the neighborhood. I was buying the kids shoes. I was passing out flyers in the neighborhood. When I bought the Bentley, I drove the Bentley in the hood first. I drove it every block in the hood, in Douglas. You know what I'm saying? I got out. I hollered at
Waving like the
everybody.
president.
Yeah. I was the first young nigga in North Memphis to pull up in the Bentley. You know what I'm saying? In the hood. You know what I'm saying?
Jack.
Not cocky. None of that.
Yeah.
I pull up. I shout out everybody. I holler at everybody. I show love to everybody. I don't care how much money you got. Man, what's up, big bro? You good? Man, man, blessings, bro. You know, just to make a person, because people are already looking at you, and as soon as you show a sign of thinking that you better or bigger, then people will start looking upside your head. Then people will start.
You didn't give them a chance to prejudge you.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the young guys that I was buying their shoes and stuff, they was the young hardheads in the neighborhood. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So the young hardheads turned into the big goons in the neighborhood. So what I did was, you know what? They next.
Mm-hmm.
Let me talk to them. Let me take care of them. Let me buy them some shoes. Let me get them some money for their report cards and stuff like that. Yeah. And this is a true story. Like this was 2015. Okay. So these guys, they big now. You know, they was like probably 14 and stuff then, so they big now. They was stealing cars over there in the neighborhood over there. And one of my partners lived over there. And he said, man, you remember the young niggas you used to be buying them shoes for? Yeah. He said, man, one of them had walked up on me the other day. And I think they was in a stolen car. And he said, dude pulled up. I mean, he walked up to him, and then he was like, hey, bro, you ain't got to worry about nothing, man. Man, you used to be with TP. And, you know, this the goon now. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But they remember, my TP used to buy us shoes. TP used to give us money for our report cards and stuff like that. So I never had no problems. She's not there yet. She just called me. I never had problems out of the hood at all. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I left is because the dude wouldn't sell me the building. That's the only thing that made me leave out of the hood, because as I grew, I knew that ownership is key. Right. But they didn't want to sell to me. You know, they might be Philippine, might be Japanese or something. I don't know.
You good enough to lease to, but you ain't good enough to sell to. That's some shit, ain't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I end up.
That ain't right, man. Y'all gotta fix that, man.
Yeah, I end up leaving, and I end up buying a building on Jackson, like around the corner from it. And you know, it was just a learning process, things that I had to go through with entrepreneurship and learning as I went. You know, it wasn't like I said, it wasn't a blueprint. Nobody said this is what you do, Tito. This is step 1, step 2. So I had to fall flat. So when I made my first 100,000, it was gone. Let me just say that. Yeah. That first 100,000, and you know, when I was coming up, I was like, man, when I get $100,000. It's over with. Ain't no turning back. I ain't gonna never fall off again. Yeah. When I got that first 100,000, boy, I don't know where that shit went. I don't know where it went, but I was so used to.
But when you say 100,000, you talking about on top of what you already are using to run your business, because of course you're saying cash. You know, you're using cash to run your businesses, right? Mm-hmm. So you saying 100,000, you just got sitting up now as a trophy down there, like what I'm gonna do now.
Yeah. So when I got my first 100,000, what did I do? I blew that one. That first 100,000, I blew it. Yeah. But
you sound like a robber for real.
I lost it. I lost that 100,000, and I was like, you know what? Next year, I'm gonna come back a little more harder. I ain't gonna spend no money unless I got to, which I knew this anyway. But you know, it was just things that I felt like I needed in life. I need this, I need that, I need that. So the second time I got 100,000, where it was just to the good. It was over 100,000 this time. I was like, what can I do? Because you know, we was heavily invested in taxes. Like when I invested in a tax company, I kind of bagged up on cars because taxes was way less upfront expense. Right. You know, it's like you selling a service versus selling a product. Right. And selling a service is always cheaper and more profitable than selling a product, because you got to buy the product, you got to package the product, you got to make it presentable to make profit on this product. Yeah. So that's what cars.
Depends on the product also. Yeah. As far as cars, I feel you.
Yeah. So you got to get them to the point where you can make a nice profit off of it. So I just bagged up off of cars a little bit. And I was relying on taxes because it was such a influx of cash. Yeah. But that's seasonal. So towards the end of the year, you know, I was like, man, you know what? I need something that's gonna it's gonna kick in at the end of the year. Like I need something that's gonna sustain us. So I ended up originally when I was selling cars, I was selling them from the house. I was buying cars off Craigslist. I was buying cars at the auction. I was underneath somebody else's dealership. But when I was at that dealership, it's a white guy named Ken Hanser in Arkansas. He was the first one gave me a chance.
Man, shout out to Ken, man.
Man, white dude from Arkansas had no reason to trust me. No reason at all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he, when I met him, he was like, man, Tito, you think you can sell cars? And I was like, what the hell? I was like, I don't sell cars. But I felt like he was trying to talk business. So I was like, yeah, I can sell cars. And he was like, how many cars you think you sell a month? I said, man, about 5 or 10. You know, I'm lying my ass.
Right.
But I'm like, man, he's trying to talk business. I need to sound like I'm ready to do business. So that's why when I was telling you I got that $6,000, I spent all my money on cars because I had met Ken and I told him I could sell 5 cars a month. So now I gotta buy 5 cars so he won't think I'm just bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I ended up spending all my money on cars to get into the car. So I'm dealing with Ken, and Ken pulled me to the side one day. He said, I'm sure he probably talks to a lot of people, but a lot of people don't take heed. But he don't know who he dealing with. He dealing with somebody that observes everything in life to get to where he is, to where he currently is. So he was like, Tito, look at all these cars. He had a big car lot. He said, look at all these cars. He said, you think the money is in these cars? I said, yeah, man, I know you can get 5 down for that one, this down for that one, for that one. He was like, yeah. But he said, you know, I have to keep buying those cars. I have to keep selling those cars. I have to keep doing this. And then I said, so Ken, where is the money? And he said, the money is in the fees. And I said, what you mean by fees? I was a dealer underneath Ken. So every car that I bought, I pay him $200 for buying the car. Ken might have had 20 people under him buying 2 cars a week. So if you got 2, that's 400 times 20. You know, I don't even want to mess up the math on there, but the 4 and the 2 zeros.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, so you know, he was making the money like that. So while I'm buying a car, every time to try to make me 1,000 or 2, all Ken had to do was chill and let everybody else buy cars. And make his 1,000 or 2.
Yeah.
So when I got my money, when I got the 100,000 the second time, I said, you know what? I'm about to be Ken.
Just about to say that.
I said, I'm about to be Ken because Ken taught me the money is in the fees. Because you can charge this person, that person, that person, that person, but can you service that person with a product, that person with a product, that person? This person might not like you, so he ain't gonna buy a car from you. This person might have heard about you, so he feel like one person got a bad car, so all your cars bad. But if you can get other people around you and they can sell cars, they might have a different reach than you have. Plus, how it goes is when Ken explained to me the fees, he would charge each dealer to get on the license. So they would pay the amount to get on the license, and then they would pay a monthly fee, and then pay per car. So the money is exponential at this point. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So when I got my 100,000, I got my first car lot. That was my name, you know, my EIN number. I set up the whole thing, and I had my partner Mario with me. Shout out to Mario, and he was, you know, he was my help. Like, hey, bro, man, if we can get 40,000, we can get this building, then we can pay it up for a year, then we can do that. So we came together on it, and that's how we got the first car lot, and we actually started to get fee money. Fee money means you might make $10,000 a month without selling the car. But you not to sound like it's predatory, but this is the way of the world. You eat off of people's ambition.
Yeah.
You can sell a person a business and let them be the boss and make more money than you can trying to sell that same person a product.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Because you know, everybody feels like they know it all. So if they know it all, why would they buy it from you? They would say, man, just let me get my license so I can buy it myself. You know what I'm saying? But when they buy it themselves, they could have bought it. They could have bought their car and had the car. It could have been one fee. But if they thinking like a boss or to cross you out, it's going to cost them to cross you out.
Right.
Because they're going to have to pay you for the license. Then they have to pay you every month for the to keep the license active. And then every time they buy a car, they have to pay you for a car. And that's the way the world goes. That's how money goes. And I learned that the money was in the fees. So after we got, after I got my 100,000 and I did the car lot, I got 100,000 again. So now I'm like, you know what? I need to come up with something else. So when I was doing the cars, I started to get the cars transported. And they would charge me $200 a car, $500 a car, $1,000 a car. And I started doing the math, and I was like, man, I wonder how much a truck would cost me, where I can cut the middleman out, plus I can make the car money. The other dealers that work with me and the ones that I know, they'll say, Tito, how much is it to get a car from Jacksonville, Florida? So next thing I did, I bought a dually, and I bought the 3-car hauler, and I started doing hot shot cars. And clientele built up, and then I said, you know what? I probably only did 2 loads. I did 2 loads with a dually, and that was.
And this is car hauling for the slow folks.
Yeah. I did 2 loads with a dually. That's all I needed to do.
So I want to say something on this. So basically, with that business right there, the car hauling business, you basically had a problem, which was you buying cars, you having to ship them and get them around, but you having to pay somebody else for that
to do it.
So that was the problem, and by solving that, you created a business around it, right?
By mistake. I didn't plan it. I did it to save money, but saving money is the same as making money.
Yeah.
In essence, you know what I'm saying? Money saved is money made. So I was moving my cars, and then more and more people started asking me, could I move their cars? So like I said, I only did 2 loads. By the time I did 2 loads, I said, you know what, it's time to expand it. Yeah. So now I went from a 3-car, and I went and bought one of those $70,000 trailers, 7 cars. And I went and bought an 18-wheeler. And I was like, if I was able to make this amount with a 3-car hauler, now I can do 7 cars.
Yeah.
And so I bought the 7-car hauler, then I bought another 18-wheeler, and I bought an 8-car hauler. So you thinking about, if I was making the money I was making off of 3, now I got 15 cars. 5 times. So I'm able to make 5 times what I was just making. This is all in the same year though. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, it don't take me long to say, okay, I see the vision.
Yeah.
If you see the vision,
right,
why are you waiting? What's the holdup? If you see the vision, what is the holdup?
Yeah.
You know, if you see the vision and the sacrifice that needs to be made, what is your holdup with making the sacrifice? Yes, you can fail, but if you succeed, it's life changing.
Right.
So, you know, I spent my it's probably my third 100,000 in the trucking industry because I didn't have credit still. I was buying everything cash.
Yeah.
Now keep in mind, if somebody in my family would have said, Tito, credit is very important, I would have been on that third 100,000 the first year. You know what I'm saying? I would have been able to do the trucks, the car lot. I would have been able to do that the same year if I knew about credit. But by me using cash, I had to build it up every time.
Yeah.
Then do that. But when I build it, when I put my own money in it, when it was slow, I didn't owe nobody. You know what I'm saying? When I was building it up, I didn't owe nobody. When I got the car lot, we paid it up for the first year, so I didn't owe nobody.
But you had all your money out.
I had my money out, so it was tight. You know what I'm saying? It was tight.
Right.
So that's why cars and taxes kind of run during the same period. But the trucks, they run all year. When I got those trucks, that's when I secured. This was 2019. That's when I secured the 365 days a year, 12 months. I made sure that something was always hidden. Something always hidden. If it's not the taxes, it's the cars. Taxes and cars usually hit at the same time. So when I get the taxes, the cars, and the trucks to hit at the same time, the bread truck. You get what I'm saying? The bread truck and all of it, and then I don't owe nobody. I don't owe no bank. I ain't got nobody. The loan I got to pay back, I ain't got to do none of that. Now I wouldn't advise doing it that way because it takes longer and it's real stressful. Because entrepreneurship and investing your own money, it's going. If you don't got an inner peace, inner happiness, it'll tear your relationship apart because y'all will be happy when y'all got money, and then when you don't have money, your happiness will be gone.
Yeah.
If you base your happiness and success on money, you can't base your success and happiness off of money because when you lack money, you will lack happiness. So you know you wanna realize what's important in life, and if you got a strong understanding of what you want and what you expect, then entrepreneurship it ain't as bad as people might make it sound, or it ain't as hard or scary as people might make it sound. So I would say if you consider entrepreneurship, jump as high as you can, and if you fall, you can get a job, because a job, no matter what job it is almost a dead end for sure. So if you fail, you can get a job, but if you don't fail, your life has changed forever. Like when I worked at a school, like I told you, I worked at a school as a maintenance man.
Yeah.
I came up so fast because I was so relentless, and I just wouldn't take failure as an option. When I left the school, as soon as I left the school, the same year, I bought my wife's dream car, which was a Range Rover. I bought that, and my kids was in the private school, because I worked at a private school. So I went up there in the Range Rover that I had just bought. So it was mostly a lot of white teachers. So I was the maintenance man. Mm-hmm. That's code word for come clean up your shit, come take out the garbages, the elevator broke. Like right. It was everything. Jobs. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So vacuuming the floors, somebody threw up, maintenance, get down here. That's just another word, a better word for custodian. So that's what I was doing. Like, but I was cool with doing it because it was getting me where I needed to be. Mm-hmm. So when I bought that Range Rover, my kids were still in private school, and I pulled up to pick my child up, and they said, "Oh, Tito, this is a nice vehicle. What are you doing now?" And then I said, "I'm doing cars." When I said that, you won't believe what the lady said. She said, "Oh, you washing cars now?"
Wow.
I said, "Yeah, something like that." I didn't even explain it to her, but she just know that I was just here cleaning up. So she couldn't fathom me coming up with a plan, and now I have a car lot.
She put you in that box.
She put me in the box. She said, if he said cars, no way this motherfucker is selling cars. He must be cleaning. So that went past, and I say maybe 10 months later, my kid's still going to the school. I got the Bentley now. And I came through, and my guys that I was working with, they called me. They said, "Tito, man, you just broke these folks down up in here. These folks going crazy. They looking you up online. They trying to see what you doing. They asking where you stay at. They asking what's the name of your business." Like, once they see me come through like that, they like, "Hold on. Tito was just working here. He got a Range Rover. Then 11 months later, he got a Bentley. What's going on?" I'm talking about, they was looking me up. Like, they was searching me online, searching the company. They was asking my partner, "What's the name of the company? We want to look them up." Which, they could have just been happy, but I doubt that. They just wanted to see what I was doing. And then when they saw the Bentley, they said, "I hope he bought a house." That's the first thing they said, because that's what people do. They go buy a Bentley. And then he was like, now that you mentioned it, yeah, he did buy a house. He bought a 6-bedroom house. It's in Arlington. And then he was like, man, they face dropped. Like, he was just calling me laughing. Like, bro, they face dropped. You should have seen it. They can't believe what you did. And it was all because I bet on myself. I bet on myself because I had already lost, had broken down to nothing. I was 24. I didn't get to start. I got out of jail when I was 24. I went when I was 18, 19. So when I got out of jail at 24, everybody else was graduating college. They were starting careers. They kind of had their path set where they were going to try to do. And but it all fit into a box. Yeah. So it was easy for me to pass them because I wasn't in the box. The box is right here. I'm walking beside it. I'm looking at it. Do I want that? Nah, I'm gonna try something else. Yeah. So, I just had
you basically had your box stripped from you, so now it's like you don't see no box in a way, because you done had it without a box. So it's like, okay, I ain't, what's the point of making an imaginary box when it's like I done had nothing? So it's like, now it's like, that feeling of, okay, I know I don't want to go back to that, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, man.
Yeah, but yeah, it was a cool journey, and the journey's still going on. Like, I don't know what's my next move. But I know I'm not done making moves. As long as I got energy and I got the mind to think, I'm gonna keep searching for the next thing, because
I was just about to ask you, man, what's the next move, man? I know you got something up your sleeve. I know you doing the parties, man. Y'all don't sleep on the TP parties, man. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's the next big thing that everybody gonna jump on, and jump on it first.
If you just tuning in, it's the Mind Your Business show with my guy Jay Body.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? We got my guy Tito Porter here, man. Tito, tell them, man, the businesses, where they can find you at, the names, man, all that good stuff, man. What you got for us?
We got Porter Transportation. You know, if you got transportation needs when it comes to freight, dry van, line haul. If you need freight move, we move rail yard moves, dry van. We power only. We can move whatever you need moved. When it comes to vehicles, we got ready to roll sales and rentals. That's at 7370 Highway 64, Oakland, Tennessee. We have in-house finance, and we have finance companies, and you can also bring your own finance company and credit union or whatever, and we can make the deal go. I guarantee you we can beat any price. The same place that CarMax goes for cars, and Jim Hutton, Chuck Hutton. We go to the same place, buy the same vehicles. So all we need is your list of expectations, and we can get it done for you. Also, we have Deutsch and Porter Financials. This is the DNP stands for Deutsch and Porter. We do personal taxes. We do small business taxes, Schedule C's. We specialize in people that need extensive itemization and receipts, and we find those deductions that a lot of people might miss. We got 10 years of experience in the tax industry. We've been in the car industry since 2015, so that's about 7 years. And with the logistics industry, we've been there since 2019. So I think that's about 3 going on 4 years. So our main thing is service. You know, they said never mix business with personal, but we take our business personal. We take our clients personally. Like we approach it with a personal level of dedication, attention to detail, and most importantly is integrity. You know, so we let our integrity precede us. You know, so if you heard anything that you might need services or help in, ask somebody about Tito. Ask somebody about Tito before you even reach out to us. And once you talk to somebody that knows about us, you're gonna find my number, you're gonna find my contact. I ain't gonna even give it to you. You're gonna find it.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, and I can vouch for him too, man. You know what I'm saying? Stand up guy, man. Everything you do, quality. And you see everything he named, man. Everything when he was naming all this stuff, I was like, man, work. That's the amount of work, bro, the man has did and put down, you know what I'm saying, to get to where he is today. You know what I'm saying? Let's not sleep on that and let that go over y'all head. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's successful now, but the amount of work he did quick, you know what I'm saying? He did it quick too. He hit the ground and started running.
He took a lot of risks.
You know what I'm saying? So, man, I just want y'all to understand that, bro. If you want something, you got to get out here and get it. You know, and the harder you work for it, the better it's going to be when you get there. Facts.
Yeah, and like the man said, you got to bet on you, man. He took a lot of risks. A lot of times, like he said, it could have went south. But the brother didn't look at that. And a lot of times in business, you can't look at that because it can always go south. But like you said, in business, that's what make a lot of us crazy as entrepreneurs, because we have like a stubborn attitude of, I don't care, I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
So you need that to grow.
Right.
And that
he was grounded in family, right? Grounded in family and doing for other people rather than making a lot of money and just fucking it all off on himself, like a lot of people do. He actually was investing in people and building up people and building a team. You feel me? So, man, we just recapping, man, everything you said, man. Dope, bro. Dope guy, man. Hey,
for sure.
I gotta, man, give you props, bro.
Man,
I salute you,
bro.
man. You know what I'm saying? I want to be just like you when I get younger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate y'all, giving me the opportunity to speak about it, because a lot of people ask you to speak about a lot of things that don't matter. Right. But you don't get a lot of people that ask you to speak about entrepreneurship and drop some gems. Yeah. So if it's a something that I can leave with people to motivate them, it'll be the time will never come. The perfect one. If you wait on the perfect season to jump, it'll never come. Right. Your life will pass you by. Right. If you never jump, you never know if you can dunk. You know, if you never dive, you never know if you can swim. So, you know, sometimes you have to take that risk because you worth it. You know, you worth it. And when you see the people that have the millions or the billions or have this idea or that idea, the mind that they have is no different than the mind you have. But the initiative that they take is the only difference. If one thing happens in the same thing can happen in one person's life and the other person's life, but one will be rich. The only thing that separates them is pushing through. It's so easy to give up, but that one that pushes through will always make it. And if entrepreneurship was easy, if business was easy, everybody would do it. If it was comfortable, everybody would do it. So if you're trying to get to the next level, you have to get uncomfortable. Because if the next level was comfortable, everybody would be on the couch on the next level.
Right.
It'll be a comfort zone. So if you want to get to the next level, get uncomfortable. If you want to succeed, try. If you're reaching high, just jump. And that's probably some of the most important advice I can give you besides accountability. Never blame anybody for your failures. Never blame anybody for you not getting the customers that you thought you could have. Because when you put out a negative
energy,
a negative energy or commentary. When you put out negative commentary, man, they always hating on me, man. If I need, man, my people that I know, they ain't messing with me, they ain't doing this, then that's not gonna make people say, you know what, let me go fuck with them. It's not gonna make them come. So when they not coming, you gotta exalt those that are coming. You gotta talk about the people that are coming. You gotta talk about the people that are supporting and make them want to jump on the bandwagon. People love bandwagons. So even when your business is not booming, you better not tell the motherfucking soul that it ain't. You better tell them, man, business is booming. If you want to get in, go and get you an appointment so we can get you service. If you don't get an appointment, we might not be able to service you. And I guarantee you, people going to call you and say, hey, bro, I know you busy, man, but we go way back, man. Go on, squeeze me in. See, I know people probably do you like that. Oh, yeah. Man, go on, squeeze me in. Because they know that other people are grabbing at you. And the day ones or the day twos, they don't want to be left behind because they scared you're going to succeed. So if they scared you're going to succeed, they're going to support you just in case you succeed.
And man, you heard me just get the call, man. I'm booked up tonight. You feel me? But guess what? Any other day, I'd be like, man, I got one slot available. You know what I'm saying? I might be open all day. I got one slot available. What time good for you? That's the slot I got available. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, man. Yes, sir, man. Well, I appreciate you, man, letting us come to your spot, man. DNP Taxes. You know what I'm saying? Y'all doing a lot. You know what I'm saying? The car lot. Is it DNP car lot?
It's ready to roll.
Ready to roll. I'm thinking DP and everything.
It was at first. We changed it. We just recently changed it. That's what I thought. Okay. Yeah, it was DNP Auto Sales.
Okay. Man, let me ask you a question about that too, because that's something that I've been thinking about because I do a whole lot and it's all under one umbrella. And I see you started like that and now you separated your car lot to a different brand. Speak on that. What do you think the benefits, the advantages, and disadvantages of doing that is? You know what I mean?
The reason why.
Or why did you do it? Why did you decide to switch the name?
The reason why I did that was because I needed different business accounts for different entities. Because when it's time for you to break it down at the end of the year,
it's a lot easier.
This expense might have came from this business, that came from that business, and it's all ran together. Plus, especially when you're dealing with car lots, you pay taxes quarterly. Which you can do that. You can set your business up to pay quarterly too. Right. But usually most people pay annually. So we had one business where we wanted to pay annually, and then we had another business where we wanted to pay quarterly. So we ended up having to move it all and pay the car lot taxes yearly. So just imagine if you sold $200,000 worth of cars, and you supposed to collect the taxes. So you supposed to have $30,000 to the side in another account for taxes. But you didn't have this money all year. Man, you went to Dubai.
Man, I feel like you coming out your pocket, don't it?
Yeah, you gonna be coming out your pocket because you think you got $30,000. You got to hold it all year. you know, you're gonna pinch off of that. So in
Mm-hmm.
the end, you're gonna be in a situation where you gotta pay back all of the money. Well, I mean the tax money if you done dipped in your tax account, which that can happen because a whole 12 months you can have some ups and downs, and you might be like, you know what, I'm gonna take 10,000 out the tax account, I'm gonna put it back, and then before you know it, they sending that letter with a default judgment, and the taxes is way higher than what you expected them to be because it's a default judgment because you ain't submitted the tax return and paid it in time, and if you submit the tax return and don't pay it, they're gonna take it out your account anyway, and you know that it's a lot. So we separated them because it was easier when it came to tax time and separating the entities.
It makes sense.
And bookkeeping. It makes bookkeeping easier, especially when you're doing it all yourself. Imagine trying to keep the books for a trucking company, keep the books for a car lot, and keep the books for a tax office all in one account with multiple cards and multiple transactions. Man, it was tough. It was a Rubik's Cube. Is that what they call it? Rubik's Cube?
Yeah,
it was like that. Like
for
trying
sure.
to figure it out. Nah, that's for this business. Nah, that's for that business. And it was just too much clutter. So we separated them, and we got a little more organized, and we got a folder with every document for the state, the bank information, the account information is online, and we separated it so that we can open this book and this all of that. Open this book is all that. Go in this account, it's all that. It's all that. So you know, but when we first started, we were so anxious and in a hurry. We was like, man, we had to apply for EIN for this one, which is instant. But you know, you got to get another bank account. You got to get the business license. You got to register with the state, and so. That's how we ended up running everything together because we was doing businesses back to back, and we was like, man, we already got an EIN number, but we were new in business, so we didn't know
at the beginning because you're growing so fast. But then once you got to growing, it's like, okay, let's smooth everything out like it needs to be.
So
makes sense. It makes sense.
When we was growing and the money was increasing, we didn't plan it to be like that. So we operate out of one account, and it's a disaster. You know, it's a disaster when it's time to, man, fuck tax. We ain't even worry about tax this year. That shit's so jumbled up. So that's why we separated, so we can be more on top of the numbers and more precise with it. But when we first started, we just wanted to get the business started. And we didn't want to wait on the Secretary of State, the Department of Treasury. We didn't want to wait on none of that. We didn't want to wait on no documentation. We wanted to say, hey, we got that. Oh, you need the LLC. We got that. But see, now when you got the multiple entities, now you got an LLC for this one you got to pay every year. You got to pay one for that one every year. You got to pay one for that one every year. But on the flip side, we learned about business credit now. So now we know that's some money. That LLC is some money. That LLC is some money. That LLC is some money. And what I do is, I'll tell people this too. If you got one account that's making a lot of money, if you got 3 business accounts, but one of them is getting all the deposits. When you get that deposit, send it to that one. Send it to that one. Now, if you only made $10,000 for that month, but you send it to each account, on paper you made $30,000. You get what I'm saying? Because that's a deposit here, that's a deposit here, that's a deposit here. So now, when it's time for funding in your business, you got 3 months of bank statements of $10,000 a month or $10,000 a week. You got that on every account. So you can get money on that one, you can get money on that one, you can get money on that one because your paperwork match up. They going off of them transactions, them deposits, and them they're not even really going off of the withdrawals. They just want to see how much money is going into the account. They got a hard money loan called a merchant receipt line of credit. It's merchant. Basically, it goes off of your bank. It goes off of what your business makes a month, and they would give you 2 months of money or a month worth of money, something like that. Okay. So if you make about $7,000 a week, they'll probably give you $25,000. But it's a short term loan, and it's real expensive. So it's not for it's for making moves. It's for making money moves. Like if you get that money, you need to be investing it into something that's gonna make you more money to pay the loan back and all that type of stuff. It's like 5-month loans, but it's called a merchant receipt, something like that. Just look up merchant loan, and it goes off of your bank accounts. But when you got those 3 bank accounts and you got those 3 LLCs, that's an option that you have too. you know, you can make money off of all of them. When we was having everything running into one, and all the EIN number was the same, it wasn't DBAs or nothing. Everything was the same thing. So we was only getting credit for money one time. But now we know we can move the money here, move the money there, and get the credit 3 times for the same money.
Man, we appreciate everybody, man, that mind your business. Man, please keep coming in, subscribe. Man, all business owners, man, if you want to come in, tell us a story. Cause man, us as entrepreneurs, we don't have a support system out there for us, man. And that's what we trying to build. We trying to build where we support, where people can learn, where new people ain't scared, where they can grow. For us that's still growing, we can learn more. Come join this community, man, and be part of it. And mind your business.
Yes, sir, man. Shout out to
The
Tito
truth.
Porter, man. This episode 4. We out of here,
truth.
baby.
Mind your business, yo. Well, we strive to give business owners the blueprint of motivation, success, and dedication. Catch us on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and businesses want advertising and interviews. Contact us at mindyourbusinessshow901@gmail.com. Please subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, and stay updated for the future content. Thank you, and mind your business.